I'm Coach Bobby Brown with Sober Life Right, and these are my top 5 tips for attending your very first AA meeting. So I am a man in long-term recovery. What that means for me is that I live a pretty amazing life free from drugs and alcohol. It's been that way since July 22nd, 2021. Part of my recovery, I do go to Alcoholics Anonymous meetings. Amazing way to build community, gives you a pathway, like kind of a design for how to live your life. But I was thinking about something that might be helpful to people, and that's what are some good practices for your very first AA meeting? Because that first meeting can be, I've seen it be a huge impact in people's lives, and I've also heard to where it didn't really bring home what it could have. And I've been to a lot of meetings where we've talked about this. And I know that there's going to be a lot more suggestions than these 5, and I hope that anybody that's got some leaves them in the comments. But we'll start with number 1: get there on time. All right. The tendency, I know for a lot of people, especially if you're just at that point where it's like, man, do I even need AA? Something's happened if you're going to an AA meeting for the first time. It's not because everything's going great in your life. Like, let's just face it. If everything was going great, there'd be no need for you to go to an AA meeting. So the tendency is going to be to like put it off and kind of like want to creep in maybe kind of late and be quiet and not be seen. You can certainly do that. You're welcome in the rooms. Best practice though is get there on time. Okay. The second recommendation from me: when they're going through the beginning of the meeting, there will be a point where they ask if there are any newcomers or anybody that's attending their very first AA meeting. Despite whatever feelings of fear, embarrassment, whatever it is, just raise your hand. You don't have to do anything else. Just give them your name. Tell them it's your first AA meeting. What that's going to do is going to trigger a couple of things to happen. One, everybody's going to welcome you. Okay. Which, if you're not alcoholic like me, there weren't very many places. When I made it to my first AA meeting, there weren't many places that I was being welcomed. So that's kind of a good feeling, if nothing else. 2, in most meetings, not all, but most meetings, that's going to kind of change the direction that the leader of the meeting is going to take. AA meetings can have all sorts of different formats, all sorts of different ways to learn the program, share, all these different things. Each AA meeting is going to have its own feel. But when there's a newcomer in the meeting, it is typically a tradition for most meetings that they're going to focus on a different kind of share based on the newcomer. You suddenly become the most important person in the room because everybody else in that room has been in your seat before. Everybody that's in an AA meeting for the second time or more has been to their first AA meeting. And typically what people do is they will share what it was like before they went, what happened, and then what their life's like now. And I think that's really, really important. So that leads into the third recommendation. Listen for the similarities, not the differences. Alcoholism affects everyone. Like it is a non-discriminatory illness. Does not care about your race, creed, financial status. It attacks people indiscriminately if you're human. You've got probably statistics say probably a 1 in 10 chance if you're in America of being an alcoholic. So you're going to hear, because there's such a wide variety, you're going to hear most of the stuff you may hear, you're not going to relate to at all. And your brain is going to want to tell you, well, this is not for me, this is not for me. Well, if you are an alcoholic, that's not very helpful. Because that could end up leading you to not get the help you need and to put off getting the recovery that could actually change your life for a longer period of time. So listen for the similarities. There's stuff you can just block out. You don't have to get a ton of stuff out of the first meeting. A lot of this stuff's going to seem so foreign, but listen to see if you hear parts of your story that you can relate to. So that's the third. The fourth, stick around a few minutes after the meeting. All right. Typically what's going to happen once the meeting's over, you're going to have all these friendly people come up and want to talk to you. All right. So they are not doing this because of the cult or because they want to like wrap you in. Like, one of the keys to the AA program is that the big thing that helps people stay sober, and I can say in my own life it absolutely works, is by helping others. So it is a genuine interest, not just for you, but for their own sobriety, that they help you. So they are going to give you phone numbers, and they're going to ask you questions, and they're going to tell you all sorts of stuff, just tons of stuff. You don't have to know all of it at once. My last suggestion is you're going to get some phone numbers. Do that. Maybe that's not my last. My last suggestion is, if it's your first AA meeting, don't make your first AA meeting your last one. Some meetings are better than others. A meeting depends on who's in it, what kind of stuff's there. I highly suggest trying at least 3 AA meetings. I'm open to anybody else's suggestions, and there's a ton of other suggestions. So I hope that the comment section just fills up with things. But those are my top 5 things I think you need to know for an AA meeting. So I hope this is helpful. Thanks.